or you want?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, Germany mitigation strategy. Huh?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm audible. Hmm? Am I clear to everybody? Audible to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. This is the Germany's energy Vinard. It's an energy transition program of Germany. So I've analyzed their program as per the case sheet which is given to us. So firstly, I go for the emission inventory analysis. Okay, as per the five-step procedure. Now I tell you the basic broad energy consumption in Germany as per the latest report. It's about scope one emission. I'm talking. It's about 62.5% in the energy consumptions. Scope 1 emission, 21.16% agriculture sector, and 1.4% in industrial usages, wastages. So the scope 1 emission, to my emission inventory analysis, is based on three things. That's scope 1 emission. So we should be, the scope 1 emission, we should be trying to control about the coal-fired power plant, which is the main priority for reduction in Germany. That is the scope 1 emission. Coal and the gas plants, industrial manufacturing process, and vehicle fleets, which account for Germany's main scope 1 emission, which are set 62.5%. And then we have the scope 2 emission, which is from the purchased electricity, steam and heating and cooling. But with the Germany, shifting towards a renewable source of energy like wind and solar, so it will come down definitely. Then scope 3 emission is the value chains, which include the suppliers, the transportation, and the product usage. Okay, so this is the scope 3 emission for Germany, which I have identified three scope 3 emissions. Now, setting the targets. Okay, setting the target, the Germany has set a target of GHG reduction by 2025. That is for the net zero goal, which is before 2025 or till 2050. Correction, 2045 and is a net zero target. Okay. So initially is that 2024 milestones, they want to reduce it by 20% from 2022 levels. Okay, 2030 targets includes a reduction of 65% reduction in GHG emission, which is compared to 1990 levels. Okay, and 2025 is a net zero emission across all sectors. That is includes transportation, energy, and agriculture. Okay, these are the targets. Okay, which is there. And one of the targets is that final targets is that they want to achieve 80% of renewable energy by 2030 and complete coal phase out by 2038. That is the target also. Now, identifying and prioritizing the actions, in 2023, the 50%, like the 52% of the German power consumption came by renewable sources. That is what they have progressed as per the latest report. So, but my identification and prioritization action includes four things. Firstly, the transition to renewable energy. As I said, they are aiming for 42% of German electricity through renewable sources, but they have achieved 52% as of 2023. Okay, and in other target, and the target they want to reach is about 65% by 2030. That is the target they are achieving. Okay, but they want to achieve it 80% in transport sector by 2030. That is the renewable energy source in transportation sector, Germany. Then they want to achieve, as I said, coal and gas phase out by 2038. Okay, and then they should move for industry and manufacturing. They are moving towards low carbon production techniques in high energy industries like steel and cement. Okay, by giving incentives for green hydrogen and carbon capture technologies. Okay, another priority action they're including is transportation decarbonization. That is by expanding the electrical vehicle infrastructure and promoting more of public transport system powered by renewable source of energy. And secondly, lastly, the efficient building standards, they are promoting green energy efficiency standards buildings. Now, how to implement this mitigation measures? Okay, they have something called policy framework, which is the best policy framework they have is the Renewable Energy Sources Act and Climate Action Plan 2015, which is the mainstay of their legislative tool. Okay, now second thing they're hoping is for public and private transportation partnership, in the fields like green hydrogen, carbon capture. So this could also be one of those main reasons. Third is the infrastructure investment. They are supporting green infrastructure, including green enhancement to accommodate more of wind and solar power. As on today, they have 115 gigawatts of wind solar power, and they want correction. As on they plan to achieve 115 gigawatts of wind power by 2030, but they are aiming for the 160 gigawatts by 2040 of wind power. Okay, this is their aim. And lastly, they are going for carbon pricing and incentives. They want to impose carbon tax to make fossil fuel usage financially prohibitive and provide tax credits for renewable adoption and green technology. Now, the monitoring and progress reports, obviously, they should have, they are planning for real-time emission tracking by developing digital platforms, annual reportings on GHG emission and reduction progress reports to keep the stakeholders informed. Third is the stakeholder management. They are having a system for open communication with citizens and industries to build support for their Energiewende goals, that is the energy reduction emission goal. Okay,
Right.
this is the 5 phase out which I have covered.
So perfect. I think you have covered most of the stuff, and rightly
Yes.
so, strategy. Let me ask you another question. What do you think India can follow such kind of path?
No way, no way.
Right. Yeah.
No way, because every state has a particular dynamics,